we've got our third Emblem hero, and this is going to be my banner breakdown of Emblem Celica, and I'll also be ranking all of the Emblem heroes and what you can expect out of FEH in next month. So she's a blue infantry mage. I didn't really expect that, and as you can see, she has got that warping, which everyone expected on her. So she has got carrying magic as her preferred weapon. This gives her minus 1 special cooldown, and then if she initiates combat or if she's within 2 spaces of an ally, then she can get plus 6 attack and speed in the combat, and she can get even more attack and speed depending on 20% of her visible speed. So that's why she comes with Verge of Death to increase her visible speed. And if you give her any kind of visible speed buff, then she's essentially going to be getting plus 18 to her attack and speed. And then she also has true damage based on 20% of her speed, excluding the AoE specials, which is always a big bummer because many of these mages can function as amazing AoE nukes, and because they don't really get that true damage into their AoE special, it's definitely a bit unfortunate. But as it is, she wants to run Warp Ragnarok as her preferred special, and then she also neutralizes any kind of visible buffs to foe speed and resistance, so it is doubt speed resistance essentially. And then she also gets special cooldown -1 jump before her first attack in the combat, and then she also has the Desperation effect. So she's going to be able to bypass the scowl effect because of the special jumping, and if there are no scowl effects, then she's still going to be able to trigger Warp Ragnarok 2 times in a single round of combat, because Warp Ragnarok does have time pulse built in, so it is going to be pre-charged, and then she gets a special cooldown jump before her first follow-up attack, and she's always going to be having the Desperation effect, so she can hit really hard. And Warp Ragnarok is going to be a 1 cooldown special that she can pre-charge. It is going to be giving you special damage based on 25% of her attack, and it also has the pass effect built in, so Gatekeeper, Warp Bubble, or Valentine Myrrh, none of that is going to be stopping her, and she's still going to be able to warp, and that is pretty insane because we don't really have any other nuke in the game that already has pass in their kit, like in their preferred special, for example. They have to run pass as his thought beast skill, like Legendary Hinoka has to, if she wants to not get shut down by Gatekeeper and Valentine Myrrh, but Celica doesn't really have to do that, and for each foe in 6 spaces of units, she can move to a nearest space within 2 spaces of them. So it is basically the Hell and Harken warping, but better, and she can basically have the 2-space warping because she's a ranged unit and she needs to initiate combat from 2 spaces, so that's why she has got that. So this is pretty insane for nuking, and the mobility is going to be making her an amazing Aether Raid's defense and Summoner Duels unit, and even in Aether Raid's offense you can use her. And she has pass built in this special, so she doesn't really care about warp blocking, and then she has got Time Pulse 3 built in, so it can be pre-charged. So the description of Warp Ragnarok and carrying magic is not really all that big, but still they are really solid skills. And then she's got Verge of Death, which could be replaced with other skills, and she comes with a new skill in Resonance 4. So this is going to be dealing damage to the unit as the combat begins. So this is the damage to yourself, and it is going to be 20% of X, and the X is basically unit's max HP before entering the combat, subtracted with 20. So this is going to be helping you get that chip damage on yourself, and it is going to be helping her get into the Wings of Mercy range in something like Aether Raid's offense. But for other game modes, you're going to be basically trading away your HP for true damage and damage reduction piercing. So it is going to be inflicting -4 speed and resistance debuff on the foe, and she also gets true damage based on her HP at start of combat minus the current HP times 2. So this can go up to max 12 true damage, and minimum this is going to be 6. And then you also get the damage reduction piercing based on units HP at start of combat minus the current HP times 10. So at max this can give you 60% damage reduction piercing, and at minimum this is going to be giving you 30% damage reduction piercing. We need to know the inheritance restriction of this skill because maybe this is only there for the infantry mages and not for the other mages. If it is available to the flying mages and cavalry mages, then this is going to be really solid because they have access to damage reduction piercing now. And as it is, Occultist Strike is not really as good anymore because of Breath of Life 4, so this could be an option, but again we'll have to wait and see for that. And then she's got Infantry Null Follow-Up 4 as her Slotsy skill, so this is going to be giving her the Null Follow-Up status, which she is missing from her kit, and this is going to be helping with the Desperation effect of her weapon, so this is pretty important. And then comes her Emblem effect, which is really strong. So it is going to be enhancing your special damage by the maximum special cooldown count of the unit times 4. And this is again excluding the AoE specials. so you can have more damage on your special triggers, and for each foe in 5 spaces of her, unit can move to the nearest space that are within unit's range from that foe. So again, this is the 5 space warping that is kind of similar to Harken and Hell, but this is going to be better, and this is essentially extra movement with extra steps. And in many cases, this is going to be better because you bypass the terrain effects. So basically, any kind of range unit is going to be having 3 movement, and any kind of melee unit is going to be having like 4 movement, effectively with the warping that you can get out of this emblem effect. So this is going to be really strong for Aether Raid's offense for many of the Gale Force teams, and also really strong for Aether Raid's defense. And keep in mind that the threat range is not indicated until the enemy unit can attack you with this kind of warping. So if you faced Hell in Aether Raid's offense, then you know what I'm talking about. So this can actually spook you, and this is going to be a big thing for Summoner Duels. We do have Valentine Myrrh getting her run in the double special heroes banner, so War Bubble is going to be even more effective. And the other units that are going to be having this emblem effect, they don't have pass like Celica, so they're going to be susceptible to War Bubble and the War Blocking. And this is going to be really strong because even infantry melee units like Emblem Ike can move many spaces and essentially get better mobility out of this. And he's going to be a really annoying threat even in Aether Raid's defense. I mean, he still is, but with this, he's going to be having an engage ring that he can use, which he didn't really have before, because Mart's emblem ring just broke Lagu's friend 4 on him, but he can easily make use of Celica's emblem ring. So overall, Emblem Celica is a really strong unit herself and also provides amazing emblem ring effect with her engage special, and she is going to be one of the units which you are going to be wanting in your barracks, because emblem heroes are the least skippable units because they provide huge value to your entire barracks and for different game modes, so they're not restricted just to any kind of other game mode like legendary units or mythic units, and they themselves are really strong. And Emblem Celica is going to be a really powerful nuke that can pierce through damage reduction, trigger Warp Ragnarok multiple times, and also has pass, so her warping is not going to be stopped, and she could be used in Aether Raid's offense because of the chip damage that you get from Resonance 4. So you can use a Double Fury build and pretty much use her as a Wings of Mercy beacon. And in Summoner Duels, she is going to be a really strong nuke with her warping. She's not going to be needing any kind of guidance 4 or soaring guidance support, and she's just going to be able to warp like crazy. Her emblem effect is also really big, and it's kind of a game changer for many of the units because it is going to be giving them better mobility and it enables warping for them. And like I said, this is basically a better Harken, better Hell mobility, so that way is much easier to understand. And she could be running with her base kit, but attack speed finish 4 is something that you can run. And in Aether Raid's offense, you could run Double Fury build. You can even run Fatal Smoke 4 so that you can bypass the non-special miracle effects. But at that point, you will need some kind of null follow-up effect. And she could even run Counter Control, and that is going to be helpful in Aether Raid's defense and Summoner Duels. And she mainly wants to stack up her offenses, so offensive Sacred Seals are going to be the go-to for her. I've decided to rank Emblem Heroes on 2 criterias, one, unit strength and their ring strength. So how good they are in the combat themselves and how good is their ring effect. So Emblem Ike is still the best Emblem Hero. He has insane tanking potential, and he has got another shot at just being insane with Breath of Life 4. And Celica is not really as insane as Ike, but she's kind of close behind with how insane nuke she can be. And the warping that she's got is not stoppable by Warp Bubble. So she is really good and definitely better than Emblem Marth. Don't get me wrong, Emblem Marth is good, but it's just that the other Emblem heroes are just much better. And when it comes to the ring strength, I think that Emblem Celica's engage ring is definitely better than Emblem Ike, but it is going to be on par with Marth, and in many cases it is going to be better than Marth because the warping is going to be enabling the better mobility. And if you're a modern unit, then you probably have -1 special cooldown weapon anyways. So in many cases, this is going to be giving you better mobility, which can be a game changer for a match, especially in something like Summoner Duels. And this is going to be useful in Aether Raid's defense and also in Aether Raid's offense. And in Aether Raid's offense, this is going to be really good for the Gale Force teams. Emblem Marth's emblem effect is still really good, so I'm going to be having it in tier 1. And Emblem Ike's engage special is only really useful on the range units if they want to get the unpierceable damage reduction, and even then it's mostly going to be for the tanking. Overall, this banner gives you amazing value in the blue pool because you have got attuned Ivy, attuned Zeta, 2 attuned units, and Attuned Ivy can give you the Soaring Echo, which is basically the best attuned skill. So this is going to be giving you a lot of value, and Colorless does have 3 mythics in Goto, Medias, and for Mortis. They're not really as insane anymore, and Goto is helpful with Emblem Ike for the AoE damage reduction, but unfortunately now we have Mythic Loki and also Nurgle, so the visible AoE status effect is not as good compared to the Stone Terrain from Lumera, which cannot get stolen. And then the green pool is going to be having Rosado and Ascended Merrick, so it's decent, but Legendary Xander is definitely going to be a dud. Rosado is going to be giving you Waven Rift, which is definitely a really good skill, and red is going to be quite lackluster because of Embla, and the double legends of Legendary Hinoka and Legendary Veronica can help you if you're trying to get merges, but mainly people are going to be sniping the blue stones. And next month we should be getting a new summer banner, and Not and Ashera are going to be getting their remix banners, and we do have a Forging Bonds rerun with Attuned Pini, Attuned Triandra, and Rearmed Sonia, so if you want that, you could save for that, and there's probably going to be a new Rearmed or Attuned Unit banner, and we should be getting a Colorless Mythic at the end of next month. But like I said, Emblem Heroes are some of the most unskippable units because they just give you so much value and they are really strong themselves. So most people are going to be summoning on this banner, and if you already got Emblem Ike and Emblem Marth, then you could also try and get Emblem Celica, because in many strategies she's going to be having that emblem effect, which is going to be a game changer. And the next mythic unit is probably going to be Astra or Anima. I don't think they're going to be light or dark just soon yet because we just got Mythic Loki. So it could be Astra because the last was Ratatoskr, and Anima could be also a type that they could do because Galvig is a few months old. So regardless, expect a colorless mythic next month. I want to thank all of my YouTube members for their constant support, and you can click the link on the screen right now to check out my refined review of this month, and make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell because YouTube sub boxes are about as functional as War Bubble against Emblem Celica. So that's it, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.